Hey, how you doing? George September here again. Hope you're having a great day. I'll assume that you've done my part 1 and my part 2 lessons and you've gotten a grasp of your first 8 chords, and if you include the C7 chord that I snuck in there, then you've learned 9 chords. Today I'm going to teach you 4 more chords, and I am very confident that with these chords that you'll learn today, along with the ones you've already learned, you can probably play pretty much any song that's out there. It might be in a simpler form, but you can play pretty much every song that's out there. A lot of songs incorporate bar chords and all that sort of stuff, and we'll get to that in future lessons. But for now, you just need to learn the basics, and you need to learn them well. So, I will begin today by teaching you how to play a D7 chord. I'll play it first, and then I'll break it down for you. Again, very warm, a little dark. Now, very simply, I use my second finger on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret. I use my first finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and I use my 3rd finger all the way down here on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and I get this effect. Very easy chord. Remember, your fingers are going to be a little tight. You don't want that buzzy feeling, so you're going to have to really concentrate on using the tips of your fingers and getting that nice, clean, crisp sound. The next chord I'm going to show you is pretty easy. It's called an E7. Do you remember when I taught you how to play the C chord? That was your C chord. To create an E7 chord, all you do is let go of your first finger, and then it becomes an E7 chord automatically. So how to play it? Very simply, using your ring finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string of the 3rd fret, press down, get that note in there. Using your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, press down, and just strum them all together. That's the chord. Now I've taught you how to play a G chord, which sounds like this. I'm going to teach you what's called a G7 chord today. A G7 chord sounds like this. When you were playing your E7 chord, if you would just move your fingers up one position each, you would get that, and you would want to add your first finger here. But I'll explain it. Using your 3rd finger on the 6th string of the 3rd fret, press down. Using your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, press down. Kind of arch your thumb, get comfortable. You need to make room for this finger, which is going to go on the 1st string of the 1st fret. So you want it nice and clear. That's a G7. And finally, I'm going to teach you how to play an F chord. You've already learned in this lesson the D7 chord, which is like this, the E7 chord, the G7 chord, and now I'm going to teach you something a little trickier. It's going to take you a while to get it. Everybody has a hard time with it at first. It's called an F chord, and it's played like this. And this is how you play it. Using your first finger on the first 2 strings of the 1st fret, press them together. Then taking your 2nd finger, placing it on the next fret, and taking your 3rd finger and pressing it on the fret above that. Really simple. You got to get these 2 strings in really tight. You got to kind of stretch a little bit, get that finger in there. You don't want it to touch underneath where your other finger is, and then you want to add the last finger right over there, and that's your F chord. I hope you had fun. Practice your D7, practice your E7, practice your G7, and have fun with your F chord. It's a little bit tricky, but you'll get it. If you like the lesson, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Have a nice evening. Cheers.